Blog Talk Radio.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Wet Island Postgame Show. It's November 17th, 2016. The Los Angeles Kings versus the Edmonton Oilers. I am your host, Joshua Norris, as always, and finally, we are back with a postgame show. Obviously, I missed the last two games. I missed the game in Winnipeg, which was an 11:30 a.m. start. And I missed the Colorado Avalanche game. Here's the thing. The Avalanche game, I had on DVR, and I was going to go back and go through it and actually do a review of the game. But once I saw the scoreline, because I missed a very large portion of that game, when I saw it was 4-1, I figured, you know what? Maybe I won't put myself through the frustration because I don't want to go through another Kings loss. Now, obviously, there's going to be plenty of losses that I'm going to have to go through, but that road trip was very, 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 very bad, and I just didn't want to do like another losing effort post-game show. But it's nice to be at home, but going back over that road trip, yes, like it seemed like everything was going to go according to plan when we trashed the Toronto Maple Leafs 7-0. It looks like, okay, we're really on track here. But then we moved to Montreal, where we barely got our freaking feet in the water. We really got owned start to finish in Montreal. Ottawa, we actually played a very good game until the last 3 minutes of that game, where we collapsed in epic fashion, which, by the way, that Ottawa game, if you think you're frustrated with that, I had a parlay that if the Kings just won, all they had to do was win, $700 was coming my way. And we're up 1-0, like, with 3 minutes to go. And even when, like, the Ottawa ties it, okay, so they get one goal. You would obviously suspect, like, the opposition to get one goal. Okay, so we're going to overtime. I'll take my chance. Nope. With 6 seconds left, Mark Stone buries us, and we lose that game too. Now we go to Winnipeg. We lose in a shootout. Then we go to Colorado. Okay, let's end the trip on a good note. Nope, lose that one 4-1. So that road trip was dismal. Really, really not good. Finally, we get to come home and we meet the Edmonton Oilers. It's our first look at Conor McDavid and the rest of the young stars that are on this Edmonton Oilers team. Bro, Jim Fox actually high praise for Conor McDavid in the opening of the introduction to the show. He said Jim Fox straight up said Conor McDavid is the most skilled hockey player he's ever seen. I don't know if there's too much to rebuttal that. The only reason I tweeted him, Jim Fox actually tweeted. I tweeted to him, and he tweeted back at me, which huge pop. If Jim Fox is tweeting me back, obviously, like, I love that. But he said this thing, he's like, okay, don't confuse most skilled with the best player. Because when I tweeted him, I was like, well, there's this guy named Sidney Crosby. Okay? So, but I understood Jim's point. Here's what I want to say. I'm not willing to give Conor McDavid as amazing as he looks, because he does look amazing. And even though he was left off the score sheet tonight, he still did so many things where you go, wow, this kid is the next big thing. But the kid is still a teenager. I'm not willing to give him the title of the most skilled hockey player I've ever seen when I've seen guys like, Sidney Crosby and Pavel Datsyuk come through Staples Center. You know what I mean? So, like, I understood Jim's point, but I'm not ready to give Conor McDavid that label just yet. Even if it's just most skilled. But he's up there. Like, this, it's not a stretch to say that he might be the most skilled hockey player I've ever seen. That's not a stretch. I just think that it's incorrect right now. But I do think that he, give the kid one more season, 2 more seasons. Yeah, that statement might ring true, and actually, he might be the best actual hockey player we've ever seen, given some time. But right now, the kid is still a teenager. Let's hold off on mislabeling him. Line combinations for tonight's game was Tanner Pearson, Jeff Carter, Tyler Toffoli, Dustin Brown, Nick Dowd, Devin Setaguchi, Teddy Purcell, Nick Shore, Kyle Clifford, and Dwight King, Trevor Lewis, and Jordan Nolan. The D pairs pretty much remained the same. It was Drew Doughty, Derek Forberts, Alec Martinez, Jake Muzzin, and Tom Gilbert and Kevin Gravel. Well, I like what the Kings did with the lines tonight. They went top heavy. They went offensive top heavy, which I think that's what they need to do, even with Kopitar and Gaborik in the lineup. Like when Kopitar and Gabby get back, here's the thing why a team like the Kings should go top heavy, because it seems like the system that we play it's more oriented on keeping the puck out of the net than it is putting the puck in the net. That's like kind of how we play. So why, if we're going to play that system, we might as well put our strongest offensive foot forward and play our best offensive guys all in the top six, instead of like trying to disperse the talent throughout the four lines. I don't think that helps anybody. I think sometimes when you try to do that, when you try to balance the lines, some of your best offensive guys are going to feel helpless. So take Anze. Actually, you know what? Let's take Anze. Let's take Conor McDavid, for example. Tonight he was playing with Puljujarvi and Patrick Maroon. I believe that he was playing with Milan Lucic and Jordan Eberle to start the season. Those are the guys that he should be playing with, guys that he can be in the middle of, who have some skill. When he's playing with Puljujarvi and Patrick and Maroon, I don't think that does him any justice. Let's go to the phones real quick for our first actual caller. It's 602-791. 602, you're on the air with the White Island.
How's it going?
First caller, bro. Are you kidding? That's my first caller.
So how's it going?
What's up, brother?
I have a question for you.
Uh-huh.
How big do you think Howard Stern's penis is?
Whose penis?
What?
Whose penis do you want to know? How big? Whose penis?
Howard Stern's.
Oh, Jesus. Why? Why is this question a thing?
Because I want to know your opinion on that.
On Howard Stern's penis?
Yeah.
Bro, like for me to get my first caller, and this is the question.
What's a good question?
Okay, how big? I don't know how big his penis is. If I had to guess.
But dude, honestly, do you think people care about? I mean, if this is your first caller and you've been on for who knows how long, like, don't you think your show is boring and you should change your format?
You know what? That's a good point. Because obviously no one's called in. So if you want to try to make the show more, but it is a hockey podcast. Okay, so like, to answer your dumb question, and I really resent that I'm even giving this.
No,
I actually freaking resent that I'm even taking this call, bro. I don't know how big. 10 inches.
How many listeners do you? Forget about that question. How many listeners do you get during your podcast?
Bro, okay,
and please be honest.
I'm getting back to the show. I think I know who this is. It's very funny. Congratulations for you. Be my first caller, but bro, I'm hanging up. Unbelievable. That's my first caller. How big is Howard Stern's penis? Where was I? Okay. Again, Conor McDavid, injustice. His line mates are an injustice. Kopitar's line mates, Purcell and Tanner Pearson. As much as a fan of Tanner Pearson as I am, it's an injustice to Kopitar. So when these top guys come back, my whole point was, let's go freaking top heavy. And I think that'll benefit the club offensively going forward. Kings come out strong. A lot of chances. Tom Gilbert has a chance, but he hits Clifford in the shin guard. That could have been 1-0. Darnell Nurse has a chance. Martinez has a chance off a rebound. But finally, the Kings break through at 5:09, and it's Derek Forbort making it 1-0.
Oilers start back out, no score here in the first period. Puck taken away by Nick Shore. Shore to Clifford. Clifford down the right side, still possesses it. Clifford down the corner, trying to get away from Darnell Nurse. Clifford to the blue line, taken there by Forbort. He shoots, he scores! May have been tipped in front. Shore was there, but the Kings have a 1-0 lead.
Derek Forbort makes it 1-0 at 5:09 from Kyle Clifford and Nick Shore. Bro, do you understand, like, I see a caller. I'm like, okay, I can't wait to, like, talk Kings hockey. And I know who it is. Like, I know who just called in. and he trolls. So, like, my first caller is a friend that trolls. Anyway, 1-0 for the Derek Forbort goal. Sekera goes off for hooking at 5:38. And as soon as that power play was about to end, and actually it did end, it's actually not an official power play goal, but Tyler Toffoli makes it 2-0 for the Kings.
That was the Kings' first shot of the man advantage. Down the corner is Pearson. He got knocked down. Carter gave it right back to him. Pearson in the corner, in the circle, I should say. His shot taken away. Darnell Nurse cleared it out to the right point. Kings hold it in. Taken on the right side by Pearson. Now Martinez gets the puck. Martinez backhands it over to Carter. Power plays over. Pass in front. Score! Toffoli right in front to tip in the pass, and the Kings have a 2-0 lead.
So Tyler Toffoli at 7:42. Officially, it's an even strength goal. It's from Jeff Carter and Alec Martinez. It's a wonderful pass from Jeff Carter. It's also a great finish from Toff for just to take that and just gently touch that in. And like someone else could actually miss that, but Tyler Toffoli, he's proven goal scorer. He's not going to miss that. Great pass from Jeff Carter. Bro, I have another caller, and I'm going to take the call. Come with me. Take this walk with me, because when I take this call, I almost guarantee it's a troll. You're on the way here with the White Island, bro. Well, what are your thoughts?
Hi, how's it going?
Unreal. So he's off the air. Anyway, so no one has a half breakaway. Looked like he got slashed, to be honest. But the defenseman that was back-checking Jordan Nolan took right over the top and like hacks Nolan's stick, but didn't get called. So the first period ended 10-7 shots in favor of the Los Angeles Kings, 13-12 as far as faceoffs go. The Kings had a good period. They really, really did. They deserved to be up 2-0 after the first period, and then we had to the second period, which has been a disaster for us, and it pretty much was a disaster for us. Opening the second period, I have in my notes here, bro. Again, I'm gonna put Conor McDavid over throughout the course of the show. Early in the second period, McDavid gets the puck, and look, Alec Martinez is a really, really good skater, but Conor McDavid picked that puck up with speed, and Alec Martinez was freaking toast. Ultimately, in the end, the chance was nothing, but Conor McDavid got inside, and Alec Martinez couldn't even keep up with Conor McDavid. Well, that guy, his feet. Not just his feet. It's not just his skating ability. It's the fact that his mind is right on par with his feet. Like he's 2 steps ahead of everybody. Everything Conor McDavid does offensively is dangerous. Every single thing he does. Bro, I forgot to mention this on top of the show. Okay, there was a thing that McDavid was behind the net, and ultimately this play was a turnover. Right? So it's like I don't want to be like biased one way, because if Dwight King made this play, I would probably bury him, okay, because it was a turnover. But McDavid was by himself. He was doing a lot of work behind the net. His offensive awareness was, he shoveled it in front of the net, and no one was around. obviously the Kings got onto it first, but if there was an Oiler in the vicinity, it's just his awareness offensively is just tenfold above everybody else's. So again, McDavid was off the score sheet, but he did so many things that if you're a hockey fan, you could see like the gift that this Conor McDavid guy has. I have a caller, but I'm obviously not going to take it because, why the hell would I? But again, as we mentioned, the second period has been a little bit of a disaster for the Kings, and Darnell Nurse gets one back, makes it 2-1.
And the Kings bring it back up to center ice. Here is Pearson getting it over now to Carter. Carter trying to go behind the net. He still does, into the corner. Now trying to give it back to Pearson, taken away by Leon Draisaitl. Draisaitl up to center, to the King line. Left side, Nurse shoots, scores, put it right up into the corner. And Darnell Nurse makes it 2-1. Kings ahead by 1 now.
So Darnell Nurse gets one back, bro. Okay, look, if this call is a troll call, bro, I'm fine with not taking calls for the rest of the night. Okay, but 602-791, bro. What is it?
Whoa, why are you so pissed at me? I didn't do anything.
Okay. Anyway, so Darnell Nurse gets one back. That's from Leon Draisaitl. But for talking about that goal, bro, Draisaitl gets the puck from behind his own net and comes out of his own like a shot out of a cannon. And then he gets on the wing, and Darnell Nurse, they all have speed going in. Bro, it's a soft goal. Budak needs to come up with that save. Was it a good shot? Yes. Was it well placed? Yes. But it was a soft goal. From a shot, like from where Darnell Nurse shot that puck, you would expect your goalie to make that save. So it's 2-1 now, and at 8:32, Oscar Klefbom gets another one back, and they tie the game. And at this point, you're thinking, well, it's going to go the way that the Kings have known the way things to go. But Klefbom ties the game.
Pass up to center ice. Lucic sends it in deep. Oilers, Eberle over to get it. Jordan Eberle drops it off Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Another number 1 pick. Nugent-Hopkins, King zone. Hopkins, pass up the middle. And a backhander, score! Pass right up the middle, and the backhander by Oscar Klefbom ties the game at 2-2.
Bro, on this goal, like again, I know there's a lot of people who are like fans of Nick Shore, but Nick Shore simply gets abused by Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. And also, this pair of Jake Muzzin and Alec Martinez, they're not at fault here, but that pair needs to be broken up. Because they just defensively, they've become liabilities. Okay, so it's not their fault on this one. Nick Shore obviously gets abused, and Klefbom picks up the puck in front, and it's just a backhand knife. It goes practically bar down. There's really nothing Budak could do about that. But like when that goal goes in and it's tied, you're like, you think the worst. Especially when Jordan Nolan takes a penalty for interference about 26 seconds later. Now you're thinking, well, you think that it's inevitable that the Oilers are actually going to go ahead and take the lead 3-2, but off a broken face-off, the Kings go the other way, 2-on-1, Tyler Toffoli and Jeff Carter, and Jeff Carter makes no mistake.
Nolan goes off for interference. Oilers want to take a 1-goal lead here. So the Kings get the loose puck. Here is Toffoli moving ahead to Carter. He's all alone. He shoots. He scores! Short-handed goal for Jeff Carter. And the Kings lead 3-2.
Bro, it's a great shot from Jeff Carter, and it's actually even a better shot because the Kings, the Staples Center ice is, again, I've said this before, it's so freaking bad. Like when you get like especially like midway in the second period, which pretty much when this goal happened, like the ice at the Staples is just terrible. Jeff Carter didn't even settle it. He couldn't settle it. That's how bad the ice was. He scored anyways. Great shot from Jeff Carter. He makes it 3-2. Carter and Toffoli were all over the ice tonight. Those two guys need to be on the same line for the bulk of the season because they were all. I think they had 3 2-on-1s tonight. And Jeff Carter, I think, psyched himself out because they had another 2-on-1, and I think maybe Gustafson thought that Jeff Carter was going to shoot. He tried to pass it off, didn't actually work out. Then he actually had one in the third period too. He shot when he actually had Toffoli wide open, but Carter and Toffoli were chances galore. Nolan and Maroon had a fight. Look, I'm gonna say this real quick. Regardless of how you feel about fighting in hockey, the place popped huge. Okay, so like, it's like it might be unnecessary. Go ahead, you're right. Pops come out of the bedroom. Regardless of how you feel about fighting, if you're a casual fan watching hockey games, like when a fight breaks out, you can do nothing but pop. So that's all this talk about banning fighting from the game. I think if you're trying to grow the game, I think fighting needs to be a mainstay because everybody loves it. It doesn't matter if it's just two fighters like that are pretty much irrelevant to a hockey game. Everybody pops for it. It gets the fans out of their seats. It's just a good time. Now, if you're a diehard hockey fan like me, yes, the fighting is ultimately irrelevant, but the place pops. Every arena across the United States and Canada always pop for fights. And they did tonight, even though it was a nothing fight. Larson goes off at 18:37 for interference. Nothing comes of it. It's the shots. Final numbers at the end of the second period at 19-16 as for the Oilers. 24-24 in face-offs. Dead heat. Really, honestly, no notes for the third period. It was a very fast-paced game. It was a fast-paced game all night. But really, not a whole lot happened in that third period. There was a 2-on-1 again, as I mentioned before, with Toffoli and Jeff Carter. And other than that, it was just kind of up and down. The Oilers were trying to attack, but the Kings were doing what the Kings should do when they have a lead in the third period, which was shut it down and limit chances. And they did limit chances. The Oilers did have a couple, but not a whole lot. And finally, at 13-15, a guy who really, really deserves a goal because he works his freaking ass off night in and night out, every shift. Devin Setaguchi gets one and makes it 4-2 and really seals the deal.
Another solid shift to start. That was the fourth line, keeping it down low. Here's Dustin Brown. Brown drives it into the Oilers zone. On the right side, Setaguchi. Setaguchi now comes to the left side. Forbert, he shoots. Save, rebound, score! Down the left side, the Kings Setaguchi got to it, and the Kings have a 4-2 lead.
So it's Devin Setaguchi from Derek Forbert and Nick Dowd at 13-15. It makes it 4-2, and really the game is sealed at this point. One thing I want to say about Devin Setaguchi is I love the freaking guy's passion. Like, when you watch Devin Setaguchi, look, the guy scored 30-plus goals in the league before. It's there. Like, you know that it's there. You could see it. It's just, it seems like he's one or two steps away from being the Devin Setaguchi of old. But, like, I just love, because when he does score, you can tell the guy wants to do it. The guy wants to be a contributor, and I love that. That's almost half the battle. So, like, when you got a guy that actually gives a crap, like Devin Setaguchi, you can do nothing but respect that. And I hope that if Devin Setaguchi, let's say by the midway point, he gets a couple more goals, I think that he could be a contributor for this hockey team. I said before that it doesn't look like he might have it, but bro, he's right there. He's right on the cusp of what I think of the Devin Setaguchi of old. So good on him for jumping on that loose puck and scoring. It was a great Derek Forbert with the shot, rebound. Devin Setaguchi got and scored. pretty much game over, bro. And another call. I know who's calling, so no, you're not getting the show. Final numbers: 31-25 shots in favor of the Edmonton Oilers, 35-27 face-offs in favor of the Kings. Obviously, the Oilers maybe got more shots as the Kings just kind of allowed shots from the outside, played more of a defensive game than they normally would. Player-by-player review. Let's go Teddy Purcell. That whole line was not a whole lot of good, not a whole lot of bad. I think they did their job in the sense that they weren't noticeable. I think Purcell, Shore, and Clifford did a good job of, one, not being scored on, and two, they did a good job of, we don't have anything to say about them. I think that's their job. So nothing good, nothing bad. Just hold the fort when you go out there, eat some ice time, and get some rest for the other guys. So I think that line did their job. Nick Shore, I say it all the time, but educate me, because I don't see it. I don't know how many more times I have to say that about Nick Shore. Kyle Clifford was okay. Got in the forecheck pretty hard. I think Kyle Clifford was the best player on that line. Tanner Pearson, good. Bro, Tanner Pearson and Tyler Toffoli need to be on the same line. Why would they ever deviate from that line, from the Pearson Carter Toffoli? They've proven that it works. So why would you not just stick with that? Obviously, okay, here's the thing about Jeff Carter playing center. Okay, even though Jeff Carter, he's good at center. He's actually very good at center. But what I want Jeff Carter to do for my hockey team is score goals. Okay, on the Los Angeles Kings, the center position carries so much weight, it carries so much responsibility that it's going to take away from Jeff Carter's goal scoring. So I would much rather him play wing and he's our one true sniper. He needs to focus on scoring goals for this hockey team. It works in the playoffs when we're winning Stanley Cups. So how about, I tweeted this before the game, a guy like Nick Dowd, even though he's playing between not necessarily bad hockey players, but I would rather see Nick Dowd between, let's just say, like Tanner Pearson and Jeff Carter or something like that, anything like that, because that goes back to being top heavy. I can't believe I'm about to do this, but 215-831, you're on the air with the Wet Island.
Hi, how's it going?
Hey, what's up?
I just have a couple questions for you.
Uh-huh.
Do you smoke heroin? It's my first question.
Okay, all right. Well, okay. So, here's what I have to do. I have to identify the culprit. Obviously, I'm pretty sure that it's one of my friends, Kenneth Shigley. Okay, now somehow he caught wind of my podcast, and now he's telling people to call in and ask me if I smoke heroin, and ask me how big Howard Stern's dick is, bro. Okay, no more callers for tonight. Jesus Christ. Where was I? I'm talking about. Nick Dowd needs to play between some skill. Again, when Kopitar and Gabbard get back, we need to go top heavy. Obviously, we can't really go top heavy. We tried to go top heavy tonight, but our top heavy tonight isn't exactly top heavy. But any combination of, let's say, Kopitar, Dowd, Carter, Toffoli, Gabbard, Pearson, any combination of those six, those guys need to be our top six. And Nick Dowd is too good to be wasted on. Not to say wasted, because that actually has been our best line for a long time with Brown and Sadaguchi. But Brown and Sadaguchi aren't Toff, Pearson, Gaborik, Carter. The guys like those guys. And I think Nick Dowd offensively deserves to play with guys like that. What we got here? Dwight King. I think Dwight King was very, very, very tolerable tonight. And I think the reason why Dwight King was tolerable is because he wasn't getting top 6 minutes. So like it's easy when he's getting top 6 minutes and when you see him visibly like taking offensive prowess away from the line, you go, God, Dwight King is intolerable. But when he's playing with Lewis and Nolan, that's where he belongs. And Dwight King had a good game tonight. That's exactly where Dwight King's very tolerable to me on the third or fourth line. I actually don't think that I don't think it's a bad player when he's getting the minutes he deserves. So, Trevor Lewis, that line was okay. Jordan Nolan, I want to defend him all the time. He has some chances, but it sometimes to me he looks like doesn't seem to belong in the NHL. And I hate to say that. I don't want to bury a guy. I don't want to bury anybody, but Jordan Nolan just kind of I don't know if he belongs. I've always liked the guy, but I think that his hockey IQ isn't very high. Let's see. So that's pretty much it. Drew Doughty, always good. Derek Forbert, great tonight. Jake Muzzin and Alec Martinez need to be split up. Tom Gilbert and Kevin Gravel did their job, which was, don't do anything bad. Don't do, just stay under the radar. Don't do anything bad. Don't turn the puck over. They did their job. Peter Budaj, outside of that one soft goal, pretty solid. It's a good game. Good game tonight. We needed that win too. Especially after that god-awful road trip. Anyway, that's it. That's the play-by-play review. That's the review from the for the Kings and Edmonton Oilers. Bro, listen, I hate the troll calls, kind of. Like, come on. We're trying to build something here. Saturday, the New Jersey Devils coming to town at I think this is a day game, which the Kings don't typically do well in day games. But the New Jersey Devils coming to town. I think it's a 1:30 puck drop. I'll see you live immediately following the game. I hope you call in with non-trolling. I hope you call in with hockey questions. And I'll see you immediately following the conclusion of the Kings and the New Jersey Devils. That's it. Good night, everybody.
When you don't go to Geico.com, car insurance can be hard. Like early 90s heavy metal hard.
I'm yelling and screaming and I'm loud. Roar!
Geico makes it easy. You can review and update your policy or report a claim on Geico.com or the Geico mobile app. Because shouldn't we all have a little less stress in our lives?
I'm not even upset about anything!
That isn't just the sound of the all-new 2016 Mercedes-Benz GLC being put through its paces. It's the sound of innovation. The innovation behind one of the most advanced SUVs on the road today. With multiple driving modes, a suite of intelligent drive systems, and a technology-filled cabin that sets new standards in modern luxury. This is what innovation sounds like. Now, discover what it feels like in a 2016 Mercedes-Benz GLC.
Some equipment described as optional.